Okay, so now let's talk about pay per impression ad networks, and these are networks that you generally have to apply to, and you may or may not get accepted. The ones that pay out the most generally have the most stringent qualifications that you have to meet, and it could be the amount of time you've been blogging, it could be the number of visitors that you get, stuff like that. A lot of them will only accept a certain number of bloggers, and once they've reached that quota, then you are put on a waiting list, and as soon as a spot opens up, they'll accept you. Anyway, pay per impression is really interesting in that your visitors don't actually have to click on the ads in order for you to get paid. Just as long as they pull up the page and the ads are displayed, then you will get paid for that. And I know that it probably sounds fantastic, but it really is dependent upon if you've found a good ad network or not. Because I've been in some ad networks that pay per impression ad networks where I barely make $5 a day, and others I make considerably more. So, it just depends. It depends on what the ad network is, how much they pay per impression, do they attract quality advertisers and stuff like that. And really, in order to find these, it's just a matter, I think, of asking around. Ask other bloggers who what ad networks they're using, and if they're pleased with the ad networks, if they're pleased with their income from it, and stuff like that. And that way you kind of get a feel of what networks you want to apply to when you qualify for them. So anyways, just some of the ad networks that I know of off the top of my head would include BlogHer. BlogHer is a huge one. I mean, I'm sure you've seen their ads on lots of bloggers' blogs, and that's BlogHer, H-E-R. And anyway, BlogHer is an ad network that really caters to blogs who post about topics that are interesting to women. So anyway, that's a huge one. There's also, let me think, Haven Home Media, Rivet, Legit, Federated Media. Anyway, these are ones that you can Google and look them up and look up their qualifications and see if you qualify. Thank you. See if you qualify for them, and if you do, then go ahead and apply and just see what happens. Now, one thing that I want to say about these ad networks, these pay per impression ad networks, is that you should not be afraid to try out different ones. If you try one, even if you've been on a waiting list, if you've been on a waiting list for 6 months and they finally accept you, but then you're only making $5 a month, it's really, well, depending on your traffic, that if you're brand new, that might be good. But if you're just not making enough money, don't be afraid to remove those ads and try something else. Really, it's up to you to determine what's going to work best for your blog. Now, one thing that you need to be just aware of when it comes to these different ad networks is that a lot of them have very specific requirements about where you need to put the ads. For example, I know that BlogHer has a requirement that if you use any of their ads, they have to be the only ones that are above the fold. And basically, above the fold just means that when a visitor pulls up your website, what they see immediately is above the fold. If they have to scroll down to see it, then that is considered below the fold. So, different ad networks have different requirements like that. I know of one ad network that if you use them, you cannot use any others. Even if the other ad network is below the fold, they just won't allow it. You can't use it. So they're kind of exclusive, but it might, if you want to apply for something like that, it might benefit you because a lot of times those are the ones that get the highest paying ads. So anyway, again, just apply. It doesn't hurt to apply for a lot of them. Try out different ones. If it doesn't work, don't hesitate to take it off and try something else. It really is up to you, again, to be the one who determines what is working for you, what is working for your blog. And just because something worked for me does not mean that it's going to work for you, and vice versa. So anyway, as far as my income goes with ad networks, I currently use 2 different ad networks, and with my traffic, with my current traffic, about 8,400 a day, I make approximately, I would say, about $110 to $115 a day on ad networks. So anyway, you can see that that's a little bit more than pay-per-click advertising like AdSense with my traffic. But anyway, again, it depends on finding the right one for you and your blog.